I don't care where you are in your fitness journey, your fitness plan, your whatever you're doing. I don't care, right? This question of what the perfect workout is, what the perfect workout routine is, all that is always a question, right? Even for complete beginners who never stepped foot in the gym to the Mr. Olympias, the biggest bodybuilders, whatever, of the world, this question is still, what are the best exercises, what are the best ways to do them? Okay, for this video, I'm gonna take you through what's the best for a part of a workout. Okay, so, believe me or not, I didn't used to look like this. I didn't used to look this big and this hench, even as this strong, right? I used to look like this, and yeah, you get the picture. Anyway, after years, and I mean years, of failing to do things, errors, injuries, mistakes, trial and error, see what works best for me, everything like that, I then kind of made something work for me, so I now look like this, and yeah, you get the picture of this one as well. So, out in the fitness industry, there's so many different types of workouts. There's bro splits, there's PPLs, which are basically like push-pull legs. There's full body workouts, there's upper and lower. There's loads of different types of workout that people say like, oh, which one's the best one? Some people work out 4 days, they work out 5, 6, whatever it may be. I personally work out 6. That's just the way it fits best for me. Okay, but that being said, fitness and bodybuilding and all that is always changing over time. Always, from the people from like Arnold, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Tom Platz, Phil Heath, Dorian Yates, Kevin Leveron, all of these people who are more old school type lifters, it's changed from them. You may think they're better, you may think they're worse. Opinions couldn't really care less, to be honest. Now, modern day, it's more Alex Eubank, Larry Wheels, Trent Twins, Jeff Said, Chris Bumstead, and David Lee. They're just a portion of modern day influencers, bodybuilders, whatever it may be. Just for this workout, because we're not going to have time to do the whole everybody part, will be here forever. Just for this, we're going to do back, chest, and tris. For back, you have back anatomy, so you've got all the major muscles in the back. For chest, you've got your upper, middle, and lower chest. And triceps, again, you've got the 3 different primary heads for the tricep. Okay. I'm going to take you through the workout, just the raw footage of the workout, and then talk to you about it after. Let's do it.
Okay, so every single back, chest, and triceps workout, I always start with back. Every single time. I always start with a lat focus exercise. So here I'm doing pull-ups. I also sometimes do that pull down. I just haven't recently because of my rotator cuff injury. But I always, as you can tell from the grip, that's slightly more narrow than I usually go for. I usually go for a little bit wider. But it was just the first time using the grip, and where the grip's placed on the bar, it just felt more comfortable to like that. This is my second set. The reason I've recorded from this angle is just so you can see the angle in which I'm doing pull-ups at. I do them at this angle every single time. Even if my grip changes to a more neutral position, like you're doing like hammer curls, I will still do the exact same form. It's lower chest to the bar, elbows come down towards my lower lats. I've got quite high lat insertions anyway, but I want to aim for that lower lats. Also, you can go back and rewatch any of this footage if you want to, but you will also notice I'm tall as it is, so it's a bit more difficult. But I have to do it, so you've got no excuse to not do it. Your feet do not touch the floor. You go all the way down to like a dead hang, and then come all the way back up to a full contraction, a full squeeze. Okay, I did do another set of pull-ups, but I didn't record them simply because I don't need to. As long as I tell you what you need to do, you can then go and do it for yourself, basically. So the second exercise that I do for back is I do some form of a row, right? What I do targets specific muscles, right? So I'm pulling from very high to low to get that upper back work. But then I also row into lower lat because I say I want to work that lat. You can see with my back that my lats are primarily, my lats and my traps are the most developed parts of my back, right? That being said, I've tried to make a point of this, and I'll take my top off in a minute just so you can see. I've got a vest on so that you can see the activation of my rear delts. I try and keep it. Elbows, I could probably put them more towards my body if I wanted to, but I try and put them a little bit further out just to get that activation from my rear delts, because it's so important. Like I neglected my rear delts for so long, but it's so important to train your rear delt to get one, good posture, two, that aesthetic look with your back and shoulders, and three, the 3D rounded shoulders. Okay, so as you just saw then, every single time I either set up for this exercise or even when I'm at the end stretching, I go for a full stretch, complete full stretch, and then pull through my upper back down into my lower lats. I always try and keep my back upright. I still move because I still want to be able to hit different parts of my back. I want to pull it to a certain place, but I don't swing. It's still very controlled. I always think anytime during reps, you need to be able to stop immediately to be able to control the rep. So if it's too fast, if you're throwing something up, you're not going to be able to stop it in midair. Okay, so for this set, I think this is my final set that I do. I took my top off so that you can see which muscles have actually been worked. My traps have always been, you can see from the middle part where the vest goes in, the muscles each side, where my traps are, the most developed muscles in my back. They always have been from my first year of training. I was with a physiotherapist for my posture, and we train back 3 times a week and very rarely train chest. So my back is very developed. However, I'm also trying to go for rear delts to get that 3D look. So as you can see, my elbows aren't completely in my back. They're outside a little bit, but you can see which muscles are actually working. Go for a full squeeze, contract to work the muscle. I try and go for about 15 to 20 reps for 3 sets. Depends what weight I'm using. I'm full stacking this at the minute. So I'm doing about 50 kilogram. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's about 50 kilogram of that just to burn out my back, ready for when I do chest. Okay, so the first thing I do for chest is incline, the most important chest exercise, right? I think I said in the last video that I was watching a video of Jeff Nippard, and he was saying that when you do anything incline or upper, your upper chest grows more than your mid to lower. But your mid to lower chest grow the same as if you do flat. But your upper chest for them isn't as involved. So it's always better to do incline. Incline is just superior. Okay, so this is my second set. Again, this is just a normal warm-up, just using the 26s. The heaviest the gym goes up to is 30s. But for me and my chest, 30s can be sufficient enough for me. Okay, so for the 30s, this is what I use for a working set, my top sets. I do a few sets of these. I don't record them all because I only record what I need to show you. But I recorded this angle purely for the stretch. For the angle of where my chest is, you can see the arch of my back to show where everything is. Again, I only do a few reps. I don't do anything too much. Okay, so this set again is another working set. I do one more after this, but I'm not going to put it in, because as long as you know that I do that, you don't need to see it, because I don't want to make the video too long. I'm just trying to help you show what you should target and how to build up your back, chest and tris workout. Again, you can do more back exercise if you want to, but this is just to show you that I push myself as much as I can with incline, but I don't do too much, because I do have 2 or 3 other exercises that I want to do depending on how much I've worked my chest. If I still feel like I've got energy left, I'll do another one. If not, I'll just do 3. But again, you can still see it is working for me. I'm working the muscle, but I still only try and get about 6 reps because I want to still increase that strength. Okay, as I said, after that, I did do another set, but it looked more or less the same. I did a few partial reps for the next set. So for the things that actually matter, I go straight onto the flat bench We haven't actually got a power rack in our gym, so this is what I'm using. However, it is really good the fact I don't need a spotter. I don't need anyone to spot me, because you have the bars at the side that you can catch you on, and you can hook if you can't press it. I do between 6 to 8 reps per set, but the weight varies. I can lift quite a bit on the Smith, but that's kind of like inevitable because it is a Smith machine and you don't have any of like the stability aspect, it's just the push aspect. You can see here I'm trying to line my hands up with the rings. I try and line between my index and my middle finger up with like the rings on the bar, because I've got quite long arms as it is. I don't want to go too wide, but I don't want to go too short that I'm only working my triceps. So yeah, I have 35 on each side. I don't actually know what to class that as because the bar doesn't really weigh anything. But again, if you put weight on it, it then becomes a weight. So I don't actually know what to count it as. So I just know what works for me. On here, I'm not saying this to brag or anything. I'm purely saying this for your benefit. Is I can lift a lot heavier on this. So if you can lift heavier, go for it. The only reason why I only put 35 on each side is simply because of my wrists. Because as you'll be able to see now, is when I push, I have to twist the bar. And when you're doing that with 45, 50 on each side, it destroys your wrist. So this is around the heaviest I can go to with my wrists. I have tried using wrist straps, which seems to help, but I don't know whether that's going to be like a long-term thing because I don't want to like knacker my wrists up for good. So I don't entirely know. But it does work for me when I do about 4 sets of 8 because I say I want that strength and I also want to lift heavy on the next exercises. Okay, so this set I do now is the last set that I do. I do it till failure. I just take everything I've got out of it. It's the same weight every single set. It's 35 kilogram each side. But I can't remember how many I actually get, but I just push until I can't anymore. Sometimes I take all the weight off and only use 20 each side and push for about 40 to 50 reps. I never end up getting that, but I push for it. I usually end up getting around 30 mark, 30 something, but I just push to absolute failure. You'll see here, I try and push to failure. I do one more, gets halfway, and then I almost die and get trapped under the bar. It's like crushing my chest. But that just should I push till absolute failure. And then after this, the next thing I do it relatively straight after it, just have to set up the whole thing, which is a pain in the ass, but yeah. So my chest is feeling pretty pumped up. It's feeling fatigued at the minute. I can still do more, which is why I'm doing this, but I don't do anything else after this. So this is why I was quite heavy doing it, but I get a full stretch at the bottom, straight up at the top. I do 2 variations of this depending on how I feel. Sometimes my arms are a bit more bent, sometimes they're a bit more straight. It purely depends on the burn. So like now I'm lifting quite heavy, my arms are slightly more bent. Whereas when I start lowering the weight, I straighten my arms a lot more to get that full squeeze and to be able to make sure every single muscle's working. I usually go for between, again, 15 to 20 reps of this because I want to make sure I'm getting everything out of it as I can. I do lift heavier. However, because I'm experimenting with different things, I've only just started putting the bench down. I used to have it where it was completely up straight. I think this is only my 3rd time doing this, but I do everything about the same. So my chest is still being worked in the same ways. I've just moved the bench down, just so it's on an incline, so that when I'm flying, I am hitting that upper chest, because I don't want to be dominant and have all the weight in my lower chest. I want it in my upper chest to get that good figure and that good aesthetic look of my chest. You can see here my arms are bending because I just want to get that pure strength coming through. I don't want to have the stretch and stuff like that. I want to just literally be able to lift as much weight as I can, but without damaging myself, because if you lift loads of weight from the get-go, if you don't have anyone to pull it up with you, you could potentially pull something. So I don't want to do anything drastic, but you can tell it's working for me. I'm struggling to get this up. I do go for a few partials, but you can tell as soon as you lift a weight, whether or not, from the stretch, whether or not you're going to be able to lift it or not. I tried, I think, twice then. I couldn't lift it, but I still have a little bit more left in me. So I drop the weight, do a drop set straight away. Drop set, as you can see, is when you have no rest. And here, I go for a bend here, but my arms straighten up here. I push my elbows together. I focus on getting my elbows closer together and getting that complete squeeze. Can't get my elbows completely together, but I do try. I think I've only lowered it by about 10 kilogram each side here, so I'm already fatigued and I'm already getting everything out that I can. Not the heaviest weight in the world, but it does the job for me. I then switch my grip into a chest press, because obviously chest press is easier than doing a chest fly because it's further away from your muscles, so it means it's harder to actually hold. Anything like when you do a lateral raise, if you bend your arms, it's going to be a lot easier to do than if your arms are straight because it's away from your body. So the centre of gravity makes it harder. Okay, so the last thing that I do in this workout is a tricep. What I've been doing is changing. I've only done this a few times, but it is an absolute game changer for the muscle-mind connection with my triceps. I don't keep it too close to my body. I like to have like it out a little bit just for personal comfort, just for like how I actually feel it. I'm actually feeling the tricep more. I don't feel it too much if it's close to my body. But here, just getting a full stretch to the point where I'm almost not feeling the muscle as much as I need to do it, and then full contraction out to the sides. Okay, I see. Compared to other like people who go to the gym and other bodybuilders and whatever, I do very, very little compared to the recommended amount. I only do one exercise. I do about 4 sets of it. So this is my third set of the same thing. Put the weight up a tiny bit. But again, I'm not going to talk about weights and stuff, like what weights I do, because I don't want people to try and do the same weights as me and either be too heavy or it be too light and thinking that they're lifting too heavy, whatever, and drop it. It is purely however you feel. I lift a little bit lighter with this at the start, just because if it's too heavy, I won't get that muscle-mind connection with it. Okay, so again, I've changed the camera angle just so you can see the form that I actually use. A lot of people are like, lean over a little bit when they do it. Honestly, don't stress about it. Don't stress about getting everything perfect. Do whatever feels right for you. I feel my triceps here and get a better stretch and a muscle-mind connection when I'm more up straight, so that's what I do. I also don't lift too heavy just because I also feel it in my front delt because of how my posture is and where my muscles are placed and everything like that. My like mechanisms and my foundation of my build, that's just the way that I am. So I do them like that, which is perfectly comfortable for me. And then I straight away superset. I mean, it wasn't straight away for this, only because that's me the camera angle. But I superset another set of, I don't even know what they're called, like double cable tricep extensions, single arm, whatever they're called. And then superset it to make sure I burnt everything out. So here, you can already see I'm struggling from like rep 4. But if I need to swing, so I swing here, but I can't even get it full. So I'll do a few partials after swinging. So I'll swing and then I control it on the way back, on the stretch, on the negative, and then get a few partials. When I feel like I'm done, I'm done. At the end of like 90% of my workouts, I always do a pose, but some poses work better for other different builds. I've got like a taller build, I've got long limbs, so these poses work best for me. I always usually do the same 3 or 4 poses.
Okay, so that was just the raw footage of the workout. Main point, keep it simple. Don't do all this complicated stuff. Like, you know, all these press where people are, oh, target your inner chest. Newsflash, you don't have an inner chest. Obviously you have an inner chest. There's no muscle fibers. You can't grow your inner chest. Doesn't exist. Muscle fibers do that. You can do your lower, you can do your mid, and you can do your upper. In any way, flies, pressing, whatever you want to do, you cannot target your mid chest. Keep it simple. You need an exercise for your back, exercise for back. Again, you can do more. Exercise for your chest and exercises for your triceps. I do mine, what works for me, okay? You can do it how you want to, but that is the principle of it. You could, for example, when I do like the crossover cables, you could do skull crushers, right? But the principle stays the same. I do a warm-up set, and then do 3 working sets, and then a set till failure, on my triceps anyway, and then a set to failure. Do that exact same thing, you pick your weights. I'm not talking about weights because I don't want you to follow me, do your own thing. Push yourself to failure 90% of the time. Okay, I hope that's helped anyway. If there's any more, if you want me to do any other videos, I might do a video of like breaking down like fitness myths or whatever. If you want me to do any other videos, let me know, either again in comments or in real life, whatever, in like person, whatever. I'm putting, I've made a TikTok, posting again on Instagram, and making YouTube shorts. Check them all out because they're all like shorter versions, they're either all little clips or short versions of YouTube videos. So check them out, let me know what you think. Again, I appreciate the support to the channel. I appreciate everything. I go on and check, see who's commented, see who's liked. I have a mental note of who's done what, so let's see who the OGs of the channel are. For when I'm a big, tall, full YouTuber. Yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you. Oh no, actually, wait. First thing is, I will actually do a shoulders and biceps video and a legs video like this, but I'm not going to do it like next, because I post every weekend. I'm not going to do it. I'll do it every other weekend because I want to like change the videos a little bit as well. So yeah, thank you for watching anyway. I'll see you in the next one.